Chapter 709. The Baby Kicked Me. Before her debut, Song Shin had once vowed to her grandfather that if she didn't make a name for herself in the entertainment industry, she would not admit defeat. But the Song family had a reputation to uphold. Although elder Song tried his best to make her enter politics instead, he couldn't compete against her passion for music and creativity. With the added fact that Song Shin had been stubborn since she was a child, elder Song had no choice but to let go and allow her to explore her possibilities. He knew that his arrogant granddaughter would need to hit a dead end before she'd be truly willing to return to his side. Even though he expected his granddaughter to experience all forms of underhandedness in the entertainment industry, he never imagined that she'd hit a dead end by completely destroying her reputation. So, after the entertainment news was released, elder Song immediately gave Song Shin a phone call. "Xiao Shin, come home. Grandfather will help you resolve this matter. But, promise me, from now on, you will stay by my side and learn from me. Also, never get involved with any messy situations in the entertainment industry again and distance yourself from that disgusting place." Song Shin had no choice but to return home and kneel in front of her grandfather. "Grandfather, I can't hold on anymore. Stand up, stand up." Elder Song felt his heart shatter into tiny pieces. He knew how prideful this granddaughter of his was. Yet, someone managed to hurt her so badly. "Quick, tell me who did this. Who bullied my granddaughter?" Quote. Song Shin couldn't contain her emotions as she pounced onto the old man and burst into tears. "It was Tangning and Mo Ting. Grandfather, I've really suffered. You need to get justice for me." Quote. "Whoever dares to bully my granddaughter will need to pay." The old man held onto his granddaughter. It was the first time he had seen her in such a defeated state. Shin, don't cry. Seeing you like this makes grandfather feel bad." The old man had spent a lifetime in politics and had experience dealing with various political opponents, so his heart was firm and tough. However, at home, his children were no longer around. All he had was this one granddaughter. As a result, he naturally treasured her and didn't allow anyone to do anything to her. Yet, she was crying so badly in front of Monsieur who could handle it. But what about everything that Song Shin had done to others? He never considered it. As long as Song Shin was happy and satisfied, that was all that mattered. After Song Shin fell asleep, elder Song paced back and forth in his room, trying to decide on something. Afterwards, he pulled out his phone and put on his reading glasses to find a phone number. "Hello, Official Yang. There's a favor I would like to ask of you. Do you have time to share a dinner?" Quote. Faced with the pressures from Song Shin, Tangning obviously considered the background that Song Shin had. So, she expected that Song Shin would ask her family for help after she ran out of options. This was the reason why she did not use Duan Jinghong yet. Even though the Tang family were a big perfume empire, the poor could never beat the rich and the rich could never beat those with power. If the Song family actually decided to protect Song Shin, that would be when Duan Jinghong would come of use. However, she never expected that the Song family would make a move so quickly. According to film fans, The Lost Relative consists of a large number of bloody and violent scenes, but they haven't warned minors not to watch it. As a result, 4 days after their release, they've been officially ordered to stop screening and make corrections by a particular government department. As soon as this news was released, it immediately created a commotion. After all, the film was originally allowed to screen because it had already passed the rating system. Since it was allowed to screen before, why was it suddenly pulled down? No one understood the situation. But the film was indeed pulled down and asked to change. Since they had received an official notification, all those related to the film had no choice but to obey. Afterwards, Director Chen Feng received another vague notice to ban Tangning from the industry. Of course, everyone knew the unspeakable truth. Tangning had offended someone. Not an average someone, but someone with a strong backing. Meanwhile, after reading through the official notification, Mo Ting simply threw the documents to the side, since it was an order from the officials. Hai Rui had no choice but to obey. After all, the entertainment industry and the Department of Culture were two completely separate entities. President. No names were mentioned, but it's obvious that this incident is targeted at the Madame Monsieur. If this is the case, who would dare to work with her from now on? Quote, "It seems Elder Song has put in a lot of effort," Mo Ting said calmly. "If they want us to change the film, then change it. It's not like we aren't allowed to screen it at all." Mo Ting no longer reacted emotionally to incidences like this. After all, he and Tangning had already predicted something like this to happen. Does this mean that the madam can't be an actress anymore? Quote, "According to who?" Mo Ting asked back. "Who said she can't be an actress anymore? She already has a few well-received films up her sleeves. Does it matter if she gets invited to partake in any other films or not? Don't forget, it's not that the industry doesn't want her. She's never needed to appear in other people's productions. From now on, she will be exclusive to Hai Rui. No matter who invites her, we will reject the Monsieur." Apart from filming, Tangning barely appeared in front of the public anyway. So, why did it matter if the entire world turned its back on her? Hai Rui was ready to support the world on their shoulders for her. Of course, after hearing the news, Long Jia was filled with anxiety. As she paced back and forth in front of Tangning, Tangning simply held onto her stomach and laughed. "Why are you walking around like that? Aren't you anxious? You've been thrown into a difficult situation like this." "What kind of difficult situation do you see me in?" Tangning asked. "You won't be able to act from now on." "Who says?" Tangning looked at Long Jia indifferently. "I can still act in Hai Rui's films." "You're saying?" "What I'm saying is, now that I've gotten 3 films under my belt, I'm no longer in a rush to prove myself. After the baby is born, I will place most of my energy on my family. 1 film a year will be enough for me. If I feature in Hai Rui's films, what can people say about that? But a particular government department will be strict towards you. What rules have I broken? Why would the officials be strict towards me? They're only making things difficult for me temporarily." On the other hand, the Song family have made much too big of a sacrifice. Much too big. However, she did not feel any pity for the Song family. The Song family was certainly aware of the real Song Shin. Right, which meant they knew about Song Shin's malicious schemes and agreed to the Monsieur since the Song family failed to distinguish right from wrong. Why should Tangning pity them? "Are you planning to use Duan Jing Hong?" Before Tangning could reply, she suddenly held onto her stomach and let out a painful cry. Long Jia immediately responded, "What is it? What is it? Are you ready to give birth? Don't scare me." Tangning shook her head and quickly regained her composure. "The baby kicked me. It won't be long." Chapter 710. Who in the industry would still dare to work with you? Boss has been looking very anxious lately. Can't you just stay at home and prepare for labor? Long Jia rolled her eyes. "I know my body better than anyone." Tangning appeared as calm as ever. "Have you asked the doctor about the gender of your child? Don't you care at all?" Long Jia appeared more anxious than Tangning as she stared at her protruding belly and envisioned the little human that was about to come out. "Why should I ask? We will naturally know after I give birth." Tangning wanted to leave it as a surprise for Mo Ting and herself. Whether it was a boy or a girl, it would be equally precious to the Monsieur. "My little godchild, hurry out into the world. We are all waiting for you," Long Jia said as she kneeled in front of Tangning and leaned towards her stomach. The child seemed to have heard as it threw a kick. Feeling the movement, Long Jia was rendered speechless in surprise. As soon as Tangning saw this, a happy smile slowly appeared on her face. Under Elder Song's protection, Song Shin quickly retreated from the public eye while all the cursing and scolding directed towards her was overshadowed by fresh news. For example, everyone was wondering who Tangning had offended to have caused her film to be pulled out of theaters. In reality, Tangning's situation was far worse than what the public imagined. After all, the help that the Song family found indeed had the ability to make the entire entertainment industry tremble at their knees. Tangning was restricted from appearing in front of the public, not only via film, but also via past commercials as well as future ones. It seemed, for someone at the government level, the entire entertainment industry was playing out of the palm of their hands and they could suppress an artist with the blink of an eye. Even if Hairui wanted to help her, they would have to consider the consequences. Song Shin found out about Tangning's situation through Elder Song. As expected, it was useful to be in a position of power. Wasn't Mo Ting meant to be a capable man? Wasn't Hairui supposedly good at PR? Yet, there was currently nothing they could do as they watched Tangning being suppressed. However, there was still one thing that bugged Song Shin. Duan Jinghong, who had been taken away by Tangning. Thinking of this, Song Shin once again visited Elder Song's study room and whined, "Grandfather, do you remember my good girlfriend, Duan Jinghong, the one that's always following by your side?" Elder Song tried to remember as he put down the pen in his hand. "That's right, she is currently in Tangning's hands. Can you think of a way to rescue her?" Song Shin asked. "I know it was already tough for you to beg others for help. Yet, now I'm asking you to get involved in something else. It must be difficult. Don't you just want a person? Do you think Tangning can resist?" Elder Song asked. "Wait for the good news. Just don't forget the promise you made to me." "Yes, grandfather." Song Shin nodded furiously. When Elder Song made a promise, he always followed through. So, after Song Shin left the room, he once again pulled out his reading glasses and made a phone call. The next morning, the police arrived at Hyatt Regency and knocked on Tangning's door. As soon as they saw Tangning, they showed their badges and explained, "We received a report that a woman named Duan Jinghong has been missing for a few days. According to our investigation, the people that escorted her out of the hospital were your people. So, we have come to get an understanding of the situation." As soon as Tangning heard this, she knew Song Shin was here to retrieve her woman. So she smiled at the officers and replied, "Officers, Duan Jinghong is a living, breathing person. How could she be taken away by me so easily? Have you tried to contact her?" The officers did not respond. Seeing this, Tangning pulled out her phone and gave Duan Jinghong a phone call right in front of them. "Jinghong, where are you? The police have come all the way to my place to look for you. Supposedly, your family reported you missing. Has your family contacted you?" Tangning turned on the loudspeaker so the officers could hear Duan Jinghong's response. But her response was, "I'm at home sitting beside my mother and father, who made a report. It must be a mistake." A slight awkwardness appeared on the officers' faces. "Officers, if you still need to clarify things, you can go to the Duan family home and speak to them personally." The officers didn't know what to say, so they could only apologize. "Sorry to have wasted your time. I understand. You were simply following orders." Of course, Tangning's words contained a double meaning. The officers gave Tangning a long hard stare before they left the villa. A few moments later, Duan Jinghong returned Tangning's phone call. "Is that person looking for me? What do you think?" Tangning asked back. "Don't worry, I won't turn back. I'm not Song Shin. I don't threaten people. If you want to leave, then leave. I won't stop you." Duan Jinghong did not respond straight away as shuffling noises could be heard through the phone. After quite some time, Duan Jinghong finally replied, "I have self-respect too. I don't just come and go as she pleases. Another reason why Duan Jinghong responded this way was because Tangning was protecting her family. Duan Jinghong had never expected that her and Song Shin would end up like this. But she understood Song Shin's temper well. Since she was a threat, she knew Song Shin had an unlimited amount of ways to deal with her. By following Tangning, she still had faith that a future existed for her. If she followed Song Shin, she knew she would be used in every way possible and have a tragic ending. So, Duan Jinghong knew that following Tangning was the only way to save herself. She wasn't going to step into Song Shin's trap again. She wasn't stupid. She knew how to change for the better. Even so, you shouldn't be so tough. You know that Song Shin reacts the worst to that. Tangning was warning Duan Jinghong to watch out for herself. What about you? Now that Song Shin is suppressing you, who in the industry would still dare to work with you? Hearing this, Tangning paused for a few moments before she replied, if I get suppressed so easily by someone like Song Shin, I wouldn't be Tangning. I don't mind that every enemy of mine thinks that their sinister plan has succeeded. They can be satisfied with themselves all they want. That way, they will quickly expose their weaknesses. Duan Jinghong didn't understand what Tangning meant, nor did she force herself to understand. As long as Tangning was more capable than she expected, she was already satisfied. In that case, stay safe. This was the only thing that Duan Jinghong could do for Tangning. Tangning smiled casually. When it comes to this point, my husband cares about my safety more than anyone. After speaking, Tangning hung up the phone. Afterwards, Duan Jinghong stared at her phone in a daze. She was certain that Song Shin was going to call her very soon. Hit the like, thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for listening.